We live in a world of duality so that we may know the totality of our source. There is this idea that starts to emerge at the intersection of quantum physics, consciousness studies, and ancient traditions, and it tells us that God is a non-dual field of consciousness. Now, obviously, God transcends words, and if it was easy to define and explain, people wouldn't argue so much about it. So this is an approximation, and knowing it's an approximation, let's break it down piece by piece. Starting with non-dual, which is the hardest part of this to define because the mind, our logical thinking mind, also called the ego, cannot grasp non-duality. Because our logical mind is what tells us where things begin and end. It can differentiate red from blue. And that's why we live in this world of contrast and polarity, where we know light because there is dark. We know warmth because there is cold. We know pain because there is pleasure, and we know life because there is death. And that gives rise to this human experience. But this perception of reality is just our perception, and it is only true at the level of the mind. If you go under that, the true nature of reality is non-dual, and it cannot be known through the logical mind. We cannot think ourselves into an understanding of that. We can only have the direct experience, or gnosis. Field of consciousness is the next part. So let's define consciousness first. Consciousness is our sense of awareness. It is what is happening. According to science, they say that it is synapses firing in your brain. It is due to some happy accidents in the 3 pounds of tissue here. Ancient traditions tell us that consciousness is non-local, and science is starting to pick up on that. So when we talk about a field of consciousness, we are talking about a web, almost like a mycelium network that underpins everything and connects everything, what scientists call the quantum field. And so the way that things like telepathy are possible, knowing things outside of time and space, is because underneath this perception that we're all separate is this reality that we are one consciousness manifesting as infinite possibilities. I will continue going into this topic more deeply on TikTok, but especially YouTube. So if you are interested in learning more and it appeals to you, you can find me there.